Hey guys, it's Town. I'm back in the video. Today I'll be bringing you, I guess, a series-ish of me and my AV figures. So, I don't know how many days this will last. I think today is Monday, June, I think it's the 7th. Yeah, because yesterday was Order 66 day, so today I think it's the 7th. But anyways, I'm going to be doing a series of me decaling my AV figures. So right now I have cut out the 501st Trooper and all of his stuff. I don't have helmets yet because I don't know if they're gonna be good, but I ordered them off some like Chinese knockoff seller. So even if the helmet plastic isn't good, hopefully the mold is correct, because if the mold is correct, then we're fine. But if the mold isn't, then I'll have to see if AV Figures still has his helmets in stock, and I'll have to purchase those. So let's hope those are good. But I also need, because I would have already decaled the bodies and the legs and all that, but I need makeup sponges or applicator sponges, whatever you want to call them, and the sealant. What is it called? Krylon matte finish. That's what Andrew at AV Figures uses. So that's what I was going to use, and I ordered them on Amazon. So hopefully they'll be coming soon. So that'll probably be when the next update is. And I'll decal these things, but overall, I am really impressed with the decals. They look so good, so good. I mean, I could never have imagined that these things would look this good. So if you don't remember from my haul video of this, which I did, I don't know how long ago from when this video is gonna come up, but I did a haul video when I got these, and I didn't really go in depth on them and my thoughts on them. So like, this is the 501st stuff, which is already cut out. I think it looks pretty good. I tried to cut it as best as I could because I don't have like an X-Acto knife or anything. So I just used these scissors. Those are the other body templates, but allergies, not good. So next we have Shock Trooper, which Shock Troopers are my favorite, I guess, Legion. I don't know if they're a technical Legion, but they're my favorite like type of clone trooper. So I got a Shock Trooper, I got a Kamino Security Trooper, which I'm gonna do videos on all these figures. So I think my Kamino Security Trooper video will be the first of that. I haven't seen the Kamino Security Trooper on anyone posting a YouTube video about it, or on like images on Google or anything. So hopefully I have the first video on this trooper. And next we have the 212 Trooper. God, sorry about these sniffles. We have these trees called cottonwoods by us, and they drop these cottonwood seeds, and I have allergies to pollen, so it's not going well. But anyways, that's the bowl I'm gonna be using for water. Those are my terrible scissors that actually cut these very well, in which like Andrew uses an X-Acto knife, in which I don't have one, so I'm just using these scissors, and it actually cut these decals out very, very well. So just let you guys know that. And that's where I'm gonna put the helmets, if you're wondering what that is. And this is my stand that probably I'll have to take apart because it's not a very good stand to use for the sealant. So I'll have to find like a Technic brick to use for applying the sealant to the stuff. But yeah, anyways, I guess it's kind of weird saying this because there is no next clip at this point, but move on to the next clip. Well, I'm back, and it's going pretty well. I got a couple of these things, and I got the sealant, I got the sponges, I got the helmets, and I made a mistake, which I'm fine with, but when I bought off of the seller, when you ordered one of the item, it came with 10 helmets. One's over there, so that's why there's 9 in that bag. But yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that. And these helmets, they're Chinese knockoff helmets, but they're actually very, very good. I mean, here, I don't know how easy this is gonna be with one hand, but I'll just put it on this guy, and it comes off very easy. I mean, that guy fell off there, but that's because he wasn't on there very stable. But yeah, this is going very well. I've put one decal on so far front torso, and it actually looks very, very good. I'm very pleased with this. Focus, please. Okay, I think that's gonna be focused, but yeah, it's looking really good. I don't have an X-Acto knife, so I don't know how I'm gonna cut out these holes in the middle of where those arms go, but we'll see. And I'm gonna do this, and once I finish the torso, I will check back in. Well, guys, I said I'd check in after I did the torso, but, well, I just kept going. I did most of the torso yesterday, I did the helmet yesterday, I did parts of the legs yesterday, and today I did the arms, I did the rest of the legs, and the rest of the torso. And, well, I just got carried away. So we have all of our parts on here. They all look very good. I mean, I didn't decal them the best, but like on camera, they look fine. And one thing I want to address on this helmet, when I was putting on the stripe on the top, I accidentally scratched off some of the visor. So I'm gonna grab a Sharpie or something, probably some sort of black marker, and try and put it on there and see if that looks better at all. I don't know if it will because of the plastic of the helmet, but hopefully it does, and then I'm gonna seal it with my sealant. So yeah, I'll get back once this figure is fully assembled and sealed. Well, guys, there he is, fully sealed and put together. I think this guy looks awesome. Awesome. I'm so happy with the result of this. And, well, my thoughts on this first figure. The cutting is tedious and it is pretty hard, but you do get a hang of it. And the applications, certain ones are hard. The torso is pretty easy. The helmet's kind of hard. The fronts of the legs are hard, but the rest are fine. And then the arms are pretty hard. But yeah, he's all sealed and ready to go. So I'm gonna do the Oodapau Trooper next. Not the Oodapau Trooper, sorry, that's what they call him for Lego, the Too Tall Trooper. And yeah, I'll check in with you when he's done. I'm not gonna go through the steps of him. So I'm just gonna get him done, show you him, and then I'm gonna do both of those, the Kamino Security Trooper and the Coruscant Guard, and then I'll show you them. So see you then. All right, I'm back, and well, we got the 212 Trooper and the Shock Trooper done. So I don't think I showed the 212 Trooper yet. So that's him. They're all, what's it called? This thing. I won't spin. We have the matte finish on them now. And I just have the Kamino Trooper to do. So that's pretty nice. I think these guys both look very good. There are a few flaws, like, I don't know if you can tell, it's because of this. It's probably because I put too much on, but it's starting to yellow. And, focus, please. There's little holes up there, that's from the finish. It's probably because I sprayed too much, but it makes these dudes really, really, really smooth and things don't fall off. And this is the Shock Trooper. See, that kind of happened there too. That was not me. That was that. And yeah, but although that happened, I still think they look very good. So if you're wondering why I have this carpenter's knife here, I can grab it with one hand. Just give me one sec. There we go. Carpenter's knife. I have this here because I use this to cut out these holes. I usually cut out like a square, and then even the decal process of putting them on and sealing them, if it will focus, see, you don't even see any of the decal in there, which I don't know how that is, but it just is. So that's a good thing. He fell. And yeah, I'll be back to you guys when the Kamino Trooper is finished, and we'll have our 4 AV figures completed. And that's the little stand that I use. As you can see, it's like, that's where the legs go, and they're kind of dying over there. It's yellowing, and yeah, it's not very good. But anyways, I'll be back. Well, guys, I'm back. And, well, I already filmed this. But if you would have seen that, and if that was at the end of the video, it'd be upside down and very long. So I'm gonna try and make this short and sweet. Like I said, I did make this finale of this video earlier, but I filmed it upside down, and that was kind of stupid of me. We're not gonna talk about that. I don't know how it filmed upside down. I swear it is straight. I don't know what's going on. No idea. Okay, so what did I go over in the other one? I'm gonna go over what I used, how it worked with the figures. I'm gonna go over the flaws and the good things about the figures. I will be doing a review on these, but that'll be about the decals themselves and not kind of like the flaws. That'll be all in this video. I'll go over like these weird stands that I used, the actual like process of decaling those helmets. I will talk about those, and what I think I already said the tools that I used for this. So I guess since I have them right here, we'll start out with the tools I used. I am flipping this with one hand. Take this little thing off. You have a carpenter's knife. It's by Cobalt, and in no way, by any of these companies I'm talking about, am I sponsored by them. Okay? No way. I'm not sponsored by anyone in here. So we have a Cobalt carpenter's knife. You can really use any knife, but this is the one that I have. An X-Acto knife would work as well. That is for cutting out the back holes on these figures. I just cut a square, and somehow when I put them on and then sealed them, it would actually make a circle. Like, as you could tell, you don't see a square, you actually see a circle, which is kind of interesting, if I'm gonna be honest. But, what are the other tools? I had to use sponges, that is to press decals on, and these are mandatory when you do this. I mean, obviously no one forces you to, but it doesn't have to be non-latex. It can be any. These are just non-latex because, I don't know, they were cheap. But you need a sponge. You need one of these makeup sponges. They apply this stuff and they will come off, but not like unless you're trying to get them off. And then sealing completely fortifies that, but I will go over that in a minute. But sponges they're something you need when you're doing decals. You need sponges. You need a makeup sponge, not just any random sponge, a makeup sponge, because that will absorb all the water and apply the decal. Next, you don't need this, but I would say you should probably have it. This is Krylon Matte Finish, and remember, I'm not sponsored by them, nor am I whoever makes those sponges. Neither am I Lego. I'm not sponsored by anyone. I don't know why I'm going over that, but I'm not. Just to make that clear. And my chair is being really annoying right now. Oh my god. It's probably because I'm on the edge. But yeah, do not spray too much of this because the figures may yellow and the legs and the arms will be hard to put on. So this is not required, but it's definitely very nice because if you didn't have it, the decals come off way easier, and you would really only be able to have your troopers there for show because you wouldn't want to touch them or anything. In which these guys aren't going to be getting like played with or anything, but like for like mocks or any positions you want to put these guys in, you really don't want to have them non-sealed. I don't know why I said that way. You really want to have them sealed, so then you can move them. And let me just show you this 501st Trooper. The decals do not come off, and the arm moves pretty smooth. It's not as easy to move it as like on a normal Lego figure or anything, but it's still pretty easy. You probably have to move it a few times, like over like maybe a day, just to kind of loosen it up and make the stuff easier to move. I don't know, it worked for me. So next I'll go over to the figures and the flaws and the good things about the figures. So we'll go over the good things first because they're short but important. The good things about this is the decals have a stellar detail, and they go on
fairly easy. Certain ones go on easy. The torsos are probably the easiest ones to do. But the sealing of them, it makes it good, but going into the bad stuff, the sealing is very, very good. But take this guy, for example, right? I showed this on the 212 Trooper, I think, already, but I'm going to show it again. It makes these weird random holes. Kind of did that down there. And yeah, it's a problem. It happened down there too. That's an issue that I don't really know how to resolve. Don't touch the stuff when the sealant is on, because it will smear it. Which that was not on purpose. Okay, it was not. I've been extra careful, and that does not happen on anything else. Sorry, if you can hear any background noise, my window's open. I am in my room. Anyways, also, you have to be very good at cutting, because with this 212 Trooper, you can see there's the gray line up on top of the helmet on the fin where it's not supposed to be. That's not supposed to be there. That should have been cut off, but I don't know, it just wasn't. Also, yellowing. Do not spray on too much sealant, because it will yellow, as you can tell on that 212 Trooper. The 212 Trooper was probably the one that turned out the best. It's very smooth, and it looks very good. There wasn't as much, like, weird dotting that happened on the 501st Trooper on this 212 Trooper, but it yellowed, and I probably put way too much sealant on. So next we'll go to these guys. The security or guards or whatever they call them on the AV Figures website. The helmets are very hard. The legs, torso, and arms are the same as anything else, but the helmets are very hard. They're very hard. The stuff, when you're trying to apply the sponge on it and all that, it's very hard. Very, very hard. As you can see, as you look at this shock trooper, you can see the red line there on the fin, on the side of the fin. You can see that. But then on this side, you don't, because I didn't even put it on because it broke. The decal actually broke. I don't know how, it just did. And then, like these top fins, when you're applying them, they come off very, very easily. On this guy, you can see as well that there's none of those like side color things. They're like these like crescent shaped things. I didn't put them on him because the first one that I tried to put on would not go on, and I was like, I'm just not gonna deal with it. It looks fine without them. And I think this is the final thing for these guys, but like, if you look at the leg gaps on these guys are crooked. And that's because I think I put too much sealant on them. So the legs are crooked. The arms were hard to get in, but you can get them in. The legs are crooked. These guys, the legs are perfectly fine and normal. And that's because of the sealant. That's the only thing. I would actually recommend getting like a pair of legs that you don't care about, that you're never going to use. And when you're actually sealing the figure, to put those legs on it and then spray the figure and let it dry, because like even the part like the hip, not the hip, but this part where there's a little like black rectangle down there, that part will get sealed with the legs on. So I would definitely recommend putting on legs before you seal, because the sealant will make it harder for the legs and the arms to be put on. So that's gonna wrap it up for these guys. The parts that I use for these figures, these helmets. Remember, I am not at all sponsored by anyone. These are by a seller called Zing Mao. I think that's how you say it. It's like some Chinese seller on AliExpress. You can look it up on like Google, Safari, whatever you use, as plain Lego Phase 2 Clone Trooper helmets, and you'll probably find these. They're on AliExpress. The guy had a ton in stock, so you can find these easy. But these helmets are actually really, really good quality. And by the way, Zing is spelled with an X, and then Mao was like M-A-O, I think. But yeah, these helmets are very, very good. They have all the ridges that a normal Lego helmet has. They're very good. So I would recommend these that you use for helmets. For the bodies, you just go on like Bricklink or eBay, well, preferably Bricklink, and you buy the white torsos with the white hands, and then you want to buy black hands, and then you want to buy white legs, all white legs. And the heads, I just use a standard clone head. You can use black, you can use gray even, you can use white, whatever you want. I use the standard clone head because that's what I would rather see on my figure. So, yeah, I would have to say if you buy all this off of one seller, if you buy like if you buy 4 of each thing, if you buy 8 hands, 4 torsos, 4 legs, and 4 heads, it'll probably cost you maybe $15 if you can find it on one seller. On multiple sellers, well, remember they're shipping, so that'll make everything go up in price. But anyways, that's it for that. The actual decal process, for me, you have to be patient. With the Shock Trooper, I rushed through terribly, and the Shock Trooper turned out good, but not as good as it could have been. The Camino Security Trooper I think turned out better than the Shock Trooper, because the Shock Trooper I rushed through. I was trying to get through I was trying to get through the 212 Trooper and the Shock Trooper in one day. It turned out pretty bad. I still have allergies. And that's probably what I would address with the decal process, really. You want tweezers. I didn't go over tweezers, did I? Use tweezers. I'm not sponsored by this company, okay? I'm not. These tweezers, it doesn't matter what tweezers you have. You want tweezers. The tweezers really, really help. And I would basically recommend them. You need tweezers. You need tweezers. Okay, if someone does this with their bare hands, I don't know how they do it. But yeah, the tweezers really help. It's hard to get certain things in position. Pressing down with the sponge, sometimes things move, and really you just have to take it off with the tweezers, make sure the decals don't rip or anything, which they did for me. Just put them right back in your water, just like dip them in there for like a second, and then try and put them back on. They might wrap, and that's what I realized with like the Shock Trooper, the red thing with like the lines on the sides, the thing in the front of the helmet. I realized that with that guy, because that I messed up on like twice when I was trying to apply it with the sponge. So I just put it back in the water, and boom, it went back on. I tried it again, it messed up, put it back in the water, put it back on, and it was fine. But I said wrapping, they might wrap. Like those things, they were curling up like into like a cylinder. So just kind of like move them around in the water a little bit, like hold them with your tweezers, obviously, and move them around in the water a little bit to try and like free up that kind of like curl. And then once you finish all the stuff, you want to put them on your stand. I'll go over the stand in a minute. And then you want to seal them. Do not seal them too much. And before you seal them, you don't have to do anything. Just apply the decals, put them on, and push them on with the sponge and all that good stuff. And then you don't have to like let them sit and dry or anything, because they should already be dry, because the sponge should have absorbed all the water. So I guess that's really it for the decal process. We'll move on next to this stand. Useless. This stand is useless. Completely useless. Trash. Get rid of this stand. It sucks. Do not build this. If you see this, you obviously saw this in previous updates of this. You saw a torso on the top of here. You don't need that. You need the hips attached to the torso. Don't use this. The only thing you would use from this is the clear things, so that you can hold this up so the torso's in the air and the stuff can dry after you seal it. Do not use this. I just threw it on my bed. Don't use it. Please don't. Same with this. This, you really only need the pole. All you need is this. And I would definitely recommend putting one of these. I don't know if it's Technic or if it's not, putting one of these like poles in the middle of these cylinders, because that will hold them together and they won't like break while you're using them. If you put that phone down, if you just have this without any pull in it and you're like pushing to put a decal on, boom, it'll break. So you definitely want to have this pole in the middle. And this is useless. You don't need a base. You get out of here. You don't need a base. If now it's rolling away. God damn it, what did I do to myself? Throw it in the bowl. It's empty. There's no water in there right now. We're fine. Okay, next stand you need, and then I'll go over cutting, which I didn't address in the beginning, but I'll go over cutting. This is the stand you want to use for when, if you use this, whatever it's called, the finish, the sealant. You know, when I recorded the first video, my dad was cutting grass. Now he wants to blow grass. Fantastic. And my window's open, so that does not help. You'd probably still hear it, but it's because the window's open. Anyways, so this is what you use. I put a stud underneath this head because put the phone down so I don't have to do this with one hand and make it longer. Oh man, that did not come off. Yeah, the sealant is making all this stuff like stick together. But give me one sec. Sorry, this is taking a while. Longer than it should. Okay, so if you just have the head and you don't have the stud underneath, the helmet will be on there, and it won't be like in the air. The sides won't be in the air. They'll be on here, and if you just take this, I don't know why that's not working, but I can just push it with my hand, and it will fall off. So, I'm gonna do some magic over here real quick. And voila, whoa, look at that. I don't even know how we did that. It was complete magic. So you take this helmet, put it on there, all nice and tight. Tight, please, no? Okay, I don't know what's going on. And you push it with your hand. It didn't come off as easy. It came off, but not as easy as it did before, because it's kind of just resting on there. So use a stud underneath the head. And I used all white just so it looked sync. And I had extra white heads. As you can see, a lot of sealant means yellowing. As you can tell, there's been obviously a lot of sealant on this, and this thing is white, so you're gonna see the yellowing. But yeah, a lot of sealant means yellowing. That's an obvious example of a lot of sealant. Don't know why I did that. So next we have the hand rack. You can just put your feet over here and then put the torso like underneath in these holes here. That doesn't help. I'm gonna stop doing that. This pole, use this for the hands. You don't need it to be this tall necessarily, but I don't know. I just have this piece, and why not? And it has become the sealant pole. You want to use this pole to attach the hands on, and you want to use random hands. You don't want to use the black hands because that'll make them weird. Okay, some dog barked really interestingly. Use these. Using the black hands will make them like, when they grab stuff, it'll not work because they're like insides of the hand will be sealed and it'll just be a mess. So do not use the black hands on the arms when you are sealing. Use random hands. And this gets to stay here because it is not getting thrown behind me because it's not useless. Okay. So next we have cutting. Now, I put them away. I'm gonna leave this phone here. I gotta find my terrible scissors. Goddamn. We're just done dropping the weird seeds. Okay. These are my horrible safety scissors. I'm not sponsored by whoever this company is that's blurry. Please work. Please work. No? Okay. You may have seen it earlier. It doesn't matter. I'm not sponsored by them, so why does it matter anyways? I keep doing that. So these are terrible scissors. Don't take these for granted. Do not take these for granted. These actually worked. Okay? Somehow, these scissors worked. these safety scissors. They actually did a really, really, really good job. It's hard to get in like certain gaps with them, and that's where the knife comes in handy. But these work, okay? These actually work. These weird little safety scissors that suck. The cutting is very tedious. You want to cut right up to the decal, because if you noticed in my, I think it was the first video where I had cut out the 501st Trooper stuff, and it was just like sitting on the table. I hadn't decaled anything yet because I was waiting on the helmets and the spray and the sponges and all that. When it was all laying there, if you noticed, there was still the gray outlines. Like, there's the gray outline that I missed up on the top of that fin, or not fin, the stripe. Those were on those decals on the 501st Trooper. Later, I cut them off because I realized they don't fit. You have to cut right up to the decal. Using him as a prop. Like, as you can see, this side to leg decal goes right up to the edge of the leg here. It goes right up to the edge of the plastic, and it would be overlapping if there was still that gray outline. So cut right up to the decal. Definitely do that. Listen to me on that one, please. Cut right up to the decal, or things will not work out. My allergies are getting really bad, like right this second. So I'm gonna end it out here because I think I've covered everything. I'm just gonna look around and see what I think. You probably heard that dog. I don't know if you hear them, but that's kind of weird. Look at this. I didn't even grab all of them. All these helmets I accidentally bought. I mean, if I'm to like continue production of AV figures and not be spending a lot of money like at one time, I need to buy like a ton of torsos and a ton of legs and a ton of hands and a ton of heads. And this was a mistake, but a good thing, but also still a mistake. I'm gonna end it out on here. Like the video. If you like these AV figures, like these dudes here, these awesome boys that look insanely incredible. And I'm sorry I said boys. I'm not like Daily Tactics, who says boys all the time. He really does. He says boys a lot. But you know, that's his thing. He can say boys however many times he wants. And yeah, like the video if you like my figures, and subscribe to the channel if you're new to check out not really any AV figures, because this is my first AV figures experience, but also to check out some reviews on some sets. Check out like at the end of some of my set reviews. It was when I would talk about the Clone Wars, and also what else do I have on my channel? I have some like top 5 like figures from certain eras, some armies. I filmed all the army things, but I haven't posted them because I don't know, I don't know, but the quality of the videos is not very good, so I might just redo some of them, and that's why I haven't been posting in a while. But anyways, comment down below. Which one's your favorite? Which one? Calm down, dog, please. It's ruining the end of this video. Jesus crimey. I would say Christ, but I'm not going to, so I would probably offend some people. Tell me which figure you like most. Oh, great. Okay, tell me which figure you like. Tell me about your AV figures experience, and yeah, finish it out on that. Hopefully you guys like this video, and I'll see you all in another video. And for whatever reason, that is my end of the video tagline.